Hi, this is Tara Nolan, and I am doing my next step in my half-step practice, working on how to communicate to the horse that I want the elevation and piston action of the half-step instead of the lever action of the trot. So on this first clip, just working on getting Donzer to actually move through. So you can see we're going to come around, and I'm using the wall, just kind of keeping the exercise for him very the same every day until he gets it. So you can see right here I just have my hands on the reins and he's slipping his head up and not really agreeing yet to come on the contact in a nice and soft way. So all I'm doing right here is just saying no, go straight, and he doesn't want, I'm asking him to keep his shoulder straight and not pop his shoulder out to the left or to the right. So he's just kind of pulling on me and seeing what he can do, and now here he's very soft and in a good spot. And you can see his ears are back listening to me. He knows we're up to something when we go over here. So we're purposely doing small circles instead of turns on the haunches because I had a problem with him sticking the last time I did this. So I'm just moving him in very small circles versus trying to turn the haunches on top of this because it's too much for me. So as I'm going down the wall, I'm being consistent by always asking him to do the Piaffe, the half steps on the timing of the right front leg when that hits the ground. So now, and then I slide my legs back, and I want to keep my legs very far back, like that is my goal. And just do that consistently as I'm teaching him this, so he starts to put all the pieces together. So you can see in this segment I'm not going to be keeping my leg back, so it's helpful to see what's incorrect, at least for my learning process. And right now I'm just trying to communicate with Donzer the difference between trotting versus what the half steps are, because he's done them and he's played with them, but they're not very clear in his head yet, and I'm trying to get them clear in my head. So you can see right there I had my hands up too high and my legs are too far forward. So those are two pieces of my position that need to get more solid, and then that will help it become more clear for him what's going on. Now this next clip I showed you because my leg position was much better, so you can go back and watch the incorrect position and then watch this more correct position. This is also helpful to have a video clip like this if you have a ground person that can help you. It doesn't even have to be a horse person, but you say, hey, I want my leg to be here, and then they can give you that feedback, which is exactly what my husband's doing while we're playing with this. So you can see there my leg stays back in a better position, and it organizes my whole body in a better way, and then you can see Donzer gives me a lot better try down this segment. His ears are back, his tail's up, and he's actually not pulling on me very much at all. So I stop and give him a lot of attention. So one of the things I've already taught Donzer to do in previous videos is to pick up each of his legs when I touch them. So I am doing this just to sink in his head to lift that leg up and high, and I don't know if that helps him focus, but it definitely helps me focus very clear in my head the action that I want from his leg, and it helps to have it very clear in your own head before you ask the horse. So we just stopped and did that. And this next segment was interesting because it looked much better than it felt. It just felt like I was all over the place, Donzer was all over the place, and I think he was just pushing his back against me. I'm not really sure. You can see he pulled on me and then he got loose, but he's just really pulling me up out of the saddle. And so sometimes what you're feeling maybe is not what's going on. And then here we move on to a really good try. So you know, at this stage neither of us knows exactly what the end result is going to be, but we can tell when it's better. So I wanted to share this. What I'm liking, his ears are back, his head is up, his nose is out in front of the vertical, my position is back, and you can see he does pull, but then he gets very soft. So as he figures it out and figures out what the space that he's working in, he gets softer and easier. So this is getting to be more and more fun each time. And then on this one I didn't prepare Donzer, so I just kind of came around the turn. I didn't really take up any kind of a contact on the reins, and I just kind of went into it just like, you know, you might walk off and then kind of sloppily pick up a trot. It's kind of what I did here, and then we had to play catch up the whole rest of the trail. So here he went, and then he popped out of his left shoulder, and my hands are high because my reins are too long, and it was just discombobulated all over the place. So prepare before you go. I'm sure we've all heard that from our trainers before. And then this is the last segment. Just wanted to show you how we did finish better than we started. And that's always the goal when you're working, is to try to get a little bit better than where you began. So my position was solid. Donzer's listening to me. He knows something's coming up. You can see how his steps get bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. He wants to help. But here we definitely didn't have as much forward action as we've been having, so a little more up and down. And he is waiting for me and listening to me, and it was pretty even. And I'm just keeping him very short segments because I want him to be happy and think this is something that we do that's not a big deal. It's kind of fun. And so, I've got to do enough that we get the gist of it, but also keeping it pretty short, and also just giving him tons and tons of praise. So you can see that little bit, he inverts a little bit when I ask, when the spur comes back, but he's trying to figure it out. And so we're just kind of keep working on this little process, and I'm going to keep sharing with you the steps as I go. So hopefully this will be helpful.